Claire, good evening. What type of chaos are you planning on Monday or Tuesday?
Hi, Dan. It's great to be on your show. Yeah, we've got plans to have a large assembly of people coming to welcome MPs back. We'll be on Parliament Square. We'll also have people meeting in Cardiff, and we'll also have people meeting in Manchester, so that people who want to go out and have their voices heard won't have to travel too far. I know people have been asking a lot of questions about COVID, so we'll be recommending social distancing.
You can't do that on a protest. It's impossible.
Well, people will be wearing masks and carrying hand sanitizer, and they will also be outdoors, which we know that the risk of COVID is much, much lower in terms of transmission outdoors. We've got a lot of doctors on side who have been giving us advice. There's a whole team called Exile Doctors.
And are you going to stay a metre apart at all times, Claire?
Did you see the nurses doing their protest today?
No, I didn't.
They were smeared in blood, actually, outside Downing Street, and demanding a pay rise for the death that's been caused by government incompetence and negligence. And of course, nurses know the health risks of taking a protest. So, you know, the context of the climate emergency, Dan, I don't know if you understand the science.
Well, before we get to that, but just to be clear, are you going to stay a metre apart at all times, or are you going to ignore the official social distancing rules?
There is a recommendation from us officially to say try to stay 2 metres apart at best. At a push, people may get a little bit closer, but certainly when we're spread out, we take up more space. So we're more than happy to do social distancing.
So you're going to be ignoring the rules and encouraging a mass gathering in the midst of a global pandemic.
I've just told you that we'll be social distancing.
But it's a mass gathering.
Yes, it is, with social distancing.
Well, I mean, look, we're going around in circles, but you can't do a mass gathering in the middle of a pandemic. So I think it's quite irresponsible.
I don't think it's nearly as irresponsible as what the powers that be are doing. What did Boris Johnson do in the face of a pandemic? He's skipped every single Cobra meeting. He bodged, you know, all the deals that they...
No, he hasn't. Get the facts right, please, Claire. He hasn't missed every Cobra meeting. He hasn't missed every Cobra meeting. He missed a couple at the start, Claire. So let's just...
He missed a lot. And the World Health...
Oh, we've just lost Clare Farrell, and I do need to get her back, because I think facts have to be at the centre of this debate. So, Claire, do we have you back? Can we just focus on the facts, please, Claire? Because you said there that Boris Johnson missed every Cobra meeting. That is not a fact. So how can we trust you if you're not going to stick to the facts?
Boris Johnson missed a lot of meetings, Dan. The point I'm trying to make here is the failure of the government to protect the citizens of this country properly, knowing that there is an existential threat sweeping across the globe.
Well, I just wonder, Claire, if the Extinction Rebellion cares at all about facts, because you have had to remove 2 erroneous claims from your own film narrated by Keira Knightley. You warned that human extinction is a real possibility. You also warned or claimed incorrectly that climate breakdown is already killing 400,000 people a year. Your own scientists said that was a load of rubbish, and you've had to go and delete the claim. So I just wonder if we can trust any facts that are coming from the Extinction Rebellion.
Dan, okay, so there's no scientific certainty about when the worst effects are going to hit us in climate change. And so there is always questions within the scientific community around the certainty of certain claims. That 400,000 claim actually came from a very, very credible report, which was commissioned by the UN, I believe. And we're putting out a statement this afternoon to back that up and to show that there are many, many members of the scientific community who are very well respected experts on climate who believe that this is entirely the case, and more, that we are in grave danger of heading towards a catastrophe.
Extinction of the entire human race, Claire. Give me a break.
A special advisor for the IPCC, which is the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, who gave an interview for Extinction Rebellion, which will be released very, very soon. We've got the recording. I was listening to it last night, said that he doesn't believe that human beings will ever see a 4-degree warmer world because it is so dangerous. Now, we don't know what the effects of that are going to be, but we do know that the government's own climate change committee recently said we should prepare for 2 degrees, which has been called entirely catastrophic by every scientist pretty much in the world. That's what we've been told to prepare for, and possibly 4. It is not
Clare, as an environmental activist since I was a child growing up in New Zealand, can I please send you a message from my heart?
Go ahead.
Can you please not continue to terrify a generation of kids and teenagers that are already having to face one of the most scary things that any of us have gone through in a long time as a result of this pandemic? These young people, Generation Corona as they're described now, are already dealing with the mental health stresses of being part of this pandemic, of having to wear masks at school, of having to social distance. You're now erroneously telling them that human extinction is a real possibility, and you're scaring the life out of them. We all want to work towards beating climate change in a responsible manner that isn't going to annihilate our economy. But please, from the bottom of my heart, can you stop scaring a generation of kids who are already terrified, Clare?
Dan, I don't think that it's really appropriate to accuse climate campaigners who are responding to the worst possible outcomes, the highest risks, which we must take extremely seriously because they will be irreversible, the changes to the planet's biosphere, to accuse those people who are doing the most peaceful work to try and turn this around. I really don't think it's okay.
You've said we're going to be made extinct. You don't think that's going to scare people?
People are really rightfully afraid because it is scary, and the pandemic has been one piece of sudden change to our lives, which shows us to be vulnerable, and we know that there is a really much increased risk of transmitted disease, pandemics, in the case of a warmer world. More flooding and higher temperatures means there will be more of this.
But it's quite ironic, Clare. It's quite ironic that you want us to listen to some scientific facts, but then you're prepared to ignore all of the scientists in this country, including the chief medical officer who says that mass gatherings are highly irresponsible in the middle of a pandemic, and you're about to host a mass gathering in the centre of London.
Dan, this is a question of risk. Okay, do you stand in front of a truck watching it drive towards you and wait and see if it hits you before you decide to move? No, you don't, do you?
Clare.
You move in advance. This is about a risk analysis. We are in grave risk. There are people already suffering on the front lines in the global south, in the majority world. This is like a very, very serious crisis which is unfolding right now. There's just
and we're dealing with it
again. There are loads of fires again. There are loads of issues with extreme weather again every year. We've just had the highest temperature on record in Death Valley, a landslide that's killed people, which is related to climate, which was broadly reported in the UK.
Clare, look, all I'm saying is that all I'm saying is that it's a little bit ironic that you want us to listen to the scientists on some things, but then you're going to completely ignore the scientists and host a mass gathering in the middle of London in the middle of a pandemic.
Dan, the pubs are open.
Yeah, that's not a mass gathering.
There are people in pubs and restaurants. If people can go and sit 2 meters apart in a public space and have a service like a restaurant or a pub, then I think it's perfectly acceptable for people to go out and have their
make sure you stay 2 meters apart, Clare. Make sure you stay 2 meters apart. It's not going to happen, is it?
We will make sure that people stay 2 meters apart as much as possible.
Okay, well, come back on Tuesday. We'll review the footage. But I just think you've really got to stop scaring people, Clare. It's not fair. It's not fair on Generation Corona. It's really not.
You know what's really going to be not fair on them is crop failure, mass rising sea level.
No. You can't bring that terror to this show. We focus on the facts. Clare Farrell, the spokesperson for the Extinction Rebellion movement.